Top 10 transfer student anime with the strongest MC. At number 10, Strike the Blood. Koju Akatsuki transferred to Itagami Island thinking he'd get a peaceful school life. Peaceful? What a joke. The universe immediately slapped him with fourth progenitor status, basically vampire royalty with enough power to level cities. I just wanted to eat lunch without apocalyptic responsibilities, Koju thought as another supernatural crisis materialized from thin air. Enter Yukina Himaragi, sword-wielding observer sent to monitor him. "If you go berserk, I'll eliminate you," she declared with the enthusiasm of someone ordering coffee. Koju's response? Accidentally creating more familiars while having existential crises about his monstrous nature. The show's formula became legendary. Crisis appears, Koju angsts, "No, senpai, this is our fight." Blood-sucking power-up, problem solved, repeat next episode. The writers clearly discovered the perfect recipe for controlled chaos and decided to franchise it across 48 episodes. Despite the repetitive structure, watching Koju reluctantly embrace his vampire overlord destiny while surrounded by a growing harem of supernatural girls remained oddly compelling. Sometimes the most overpowered protagonists are the ones who never wanted the power in the first place. Looking at number 9. Trinity 7, Arata Kasuga's normal life got nuked, literally. A breakdown phenomenon erased his hometown, but instead of panicking like a reasonable person, he thought, "This is fine." Armed with a grimoire and the survival instincts of a caffeinated squirrel, he enrolled at Royal Biblia Academy. "I'll become a Demon Lord candidate to save my cousin," he declared, because apparently becoming the thing that destroys worlds seemed like solid rescue logic. The Trinity 7, 7 magical prodigies, surrounded him, each representing different deadly sins. His strategy? Shameless flirtation mixed with surprising competence. "Arata, your magic could literally end everything," Lilith warned him daily. His response involved either accidentally groping someone or pulling off impossible magical feats with zero formal training. The boy operated on pure protagonist energy and questionable decision-making. What made Trinity 7 special wasn't just Arata's ridiculous power scaling. It was his complete lack of traditional harem protagonist density. He knew exactly what he was doing, owned every perverted comment, and somehow made future world destroyer seem like a reasonable career path. The show weaponized self-awareness, turning every magical academy trope into comedy gold while delivering genuinely impressive magical battles. Peak chaos masquerading as education. Checking on number 8. 100. Hayato Kisaragi transferred to Little Garden, thinking he'd finally found his calling as a slayer, humanity's last hope against mysterious savage creatures. Reality check. He immediately got entangled in the most convoluted gender-bending subplot known to anime. "I must become stronger to protect everyone," Hayato thought heroically, while completely missing that his roommate Claire was obviously his childhood friend Karen in drag. The boy possessed observation skills rivaling a brick wall, yet somehow wielded 100 weapons with devastating efficiency. The savage attacked regularly, providing convenient opportunities for Hayato to showcase his rapidly expanding power set. How is he improving this fast? His classmates wondered, watching him demolish monsters that terrorized experienced slayers. Meanwhile, Hayato remained oblivious to romantic subplots developing around him at light speed. Little Garden's student body consisted entirely of attractive girls with tragic backstories and combat specializations. The school's curriculum apparently included advanced romantic tension and explosive battle choreography 101. Every training session somehow escalated into life-or-death situations, requiring Hayato's intervention. The show embraced every Mecha Academy cliché with surprising sincerity, creating an oddly earnest experience despite its ridiculous premise. Sometimes formulaic comfort food hits differently when served with genuine enthusiasm and solid action sequences. At number 7, Buso Renkin. Kazuki Muto died protecting a girl from a homunculus. Death lasted approximately 30 seconds before Tokiko Tsumura brought him back with an alchemical heart called a kakugane. "Congratulations, you're now immortal and obligated to fight monsters," she explained cheerfully. Kazuki's reaction? Pure excitement. Finally, something interesting happening in his perfectly ordinary life. His kakugane manifested as a lance, because apparently his soul screamed medieval knight energy. "I'll protect everyone with this power." he declared, immediately throwing himself into battles against creatures that regularly ate people. Tokiko watched this civilian-turned warrior with growing bewilderment. Most people needed therapy after their first homunculus encounter. Kazuki treated it like winning the supernatural lottery. His enthusiasm proved infectious, gradually melting her battle-hardened exterior. The alchemist warriors operated like supernatural pest control, except the pests were reality-warping monsters with serious attitude problems. Every mission escalated from simple patrol to prevent apocalypse within minutes. Kazuki adapted with disturbing ease, developing combat instincts that should have taken years to master. What elevated Buso Renkin above typical monster fighting fare was its genuine heart. Beneath the action and alchemy lay a story about finding purpose, choosing family, and discovering that sometimes dying for others is just the beginning of truly living. Number 6. Freezing Kazuya Aoi transferred to West Genetics Academy with one goal: understanding his sister's death fighting interdimensional aliens called Nova. What he found instead was Satellizer L. Bridget, the untouchable queen who could freeze opponents solid and had anger management issues. "She's dangerous," everyone warned him. Kazuya's brilliant response? Walking directly up to her during a battle and grabbing her hand. Satellizer's usual reaction to physical contact involved hospitalizing people. But something about this oblivious boy made her freeze, literally and figuratively. Their partnership defied every academy rule and social convention. Pandora warriors weren't supposed to bond with underclassmen. They definitely weren't supposed to let said underclassmen participate in battles against reality-shredding aliens. Yet somehow, Kazuya's presence amplified Satellizer's already terrifying abilities to new heights. The Nova attacks provided regular opportunities for students to demonstrate their various ways of dying horribly. Kazuya, despite having zero combat training, consistently ended up in the thick of battles through a combination of terrible luck and protagonist magnetism. West Genetics specialized in training teenage girls to fight cosmic horrors using barely regulated biotechnology. The curriculum included advanced dismemberment techniques and how to look fabulous while bleeding. Surprisingly, the graduation rate wasn't zero. Number 5. Witchcraft works. Onoka Takamiya lived his entire life as background character material, until Ayaka Kagari, the school's untouchable princess, suddenly declared herself his bodyguard. "Workshop witches are targeting you," she explained, casually revealing that magic existed and he was apparently important. Important how? Onoka possessed the power to destroy the world, naturally. This revelation came courtesy of his mother, delivered with the same energy most parents use to announce dinner plans. "Oh, did I forget to mention you're a walking apocalypse? Silly me." Ayaka handled this responsibility with characteristic intensity, transforming from aloof school celebrity to overprotective magical girlfriend in record time. Her solution to every threat involved increasingly elaborate fire magic displays. Subtlety died somewhere around episode 2 and never recovered. The workshop witches attacked with the coordination of a hurricane and the tactical planning of caffeinated hamsters. Each encounter escalated beyond reasonable proportions, usually ending with significant property damage and Ayaka looking magnificent while incinerating everything in sight. Onoka's power growth followed the confused civilian to world-ending threat trajectory with suspicious efficiency. His inner monologue oscillated between "I just want normal life" and "these magical flames feel surprisingly natural." Character development through existential crisis and fire magic, truly a classic combination. Number 4. Soul Eater. Maka Albarn transferred to Death Weapon Meister Academy with her scythe partner Soul Evans, determined to collect 99 evil souls plus 1 witch soul to create a death scythe. Simple plan, right? Wrong. Everything immediately went sideways in the most spectacular fashion possible. Death City operated under its own special brand of logic, where teenage students regularly faced world-ending threats as homework assignments. "Let's split up and investigate the creepy abandoned building" became standard protocol, because apparently common sense was an elective course. Maka's Weaponmeister partnership with Soul required absolute synchronization, their souls literally resonating together. This led to increasingly dramatic battle sequences where their combined attacks could slice through reality itself. "Soul resonance," they'd shout, unleashing devastating techniques that looked impossibly cool and probably violated several physics laws. The supporting cast included Death the Kid, literal son of Death with OCD, Black Star, ninja who believed subtlety was weakness, and their respective weapon partners. Together, they formed the most chaotically effective team in Academy history. Lord Death himself served as headmaster, somehow maintaining a cheerful demeanor while sending children to fight cosmic horrors. The school's educational philosophy apparently centered on trial by supernatural fire, and if you survive, you pass. At number 3, Chrome-shelled Regios. Leifon Alsaif transferred to Zuelni Academy City, hoping to escape his past as the most feared haired Heaven's Blade wielder in history. His plan involved keeping a low profile and maybe attending some classes. Reality had different ideas, specifically, reality involving giant monsters called filth monsters and mandatory combat training. I just want to study restoration arts peacefully, Leifon thought desperately as Nina Antalk dragged him into the 17th Military Arts Platoon. His attempts at hiding his abilities lasted roughly 5 minutes before circumstances forced him to demonstrate why he'd once been considered humanity's ultimate weapon. The Academy operated as a mobile city, constantly moving across contaminated wastelands while fighting off creatures that could level buildings. Students were expected to master both academic subjects and monster-slaying techniques, because apparently multitasking was a survival requirement in this post-apocalyptic world. Leifon's combat abilities defied every reasonable limitation. His casual training swings created craters, and when he actually tried, the results bordered on divine intervention. How is he this strong, his teammates wondered, watching him effortlessly accomplish feats that should have been impossible for someone his age. The supporting cast included student council politics, mysterious childhood connections, and enough romantic subplot material to power a separate series entirely. Number 2. Medaka Box. Medaka Kurokami didn't transfer to Hakoniwa Academy. She conquered it through sheer force of personality and a 98% student approval rating. As student council president, she established the Medaka Box suggestion system, promising to solve any student problem through the power of overwhelming competence and dramatic speeches. All problems can be solved through sufficient effort and determination, Medaka declared, treating minor complaints and life-threatening crises with identical enthusiasm. Her childhood friend Zenkichi Hitoyoshi served as the long-suffering voice of reason, constantly wondering how his life became an endless series of increasingly absurd situations. The school's problems escalated from "please help me confess to my crush" to "defeat this secret organization of superhuman students who want to reshape reality." Medaka approached each challenge with the same unstoppable confidence, treating gods and delinquents as equally manageable obstacles. Her abilities transcended normal human limitations, eventually revealing that she belonged to a category of beings called abnormals, people so exceptional they broke conventional rules. This explained why she could master any skill instantly, defeat any opponent, and somehow make even the most ridiculous situations seem completely reasonable through sheer force of will. Hakoniwa Academy specialized in containing students whose abilities threatened the natural order. Disguised as a normal educational institution with unusually flexible admission policies and surprisingly durable architecture. Number 1. Tenju Tenge. Maya Natsume transferred to Tudo Academy expecting typical high school experiences. Instead, she discovered a battleground where martial arts governed everything and the strongest students ruled through combat prowess rather than academic achievement. Her response? This seems perfectly reasonable. The school operated under Juken Club Authority, essentially a student organization with governmental powers backed by supernatural fighting techniques passed down through ancient bloodlines. Maya's brother Shin served as captain, which automatically made her royalty in this bizarre ecosystem of teenage martial artists. Bob Makihara and Suichiro Nagi, the protagonists, burst onto the scene with the tactical awareness of caffeinated toddlers and combat instincts that somehow compensated for their complete lack of planning. Let's challenge the strongest fighters in school immediately. Seemed like sound logic to them. Maya watched these newcomers with growing fascination as they demonstrated abilities that shouldn't exist. Suichiro's berserker transformations, and Bob's uncanny adaptability to any fighting style. Their rapid power growth defied every established rule about martial arts training and spiritual development. To-Do Academy's curriculum included advanced face-punching theory and mystical energy manipulation 101. The graduation requirements apparently involved surviving encounters with students who could level city blocks through concentrated fighting spirit and inherited supernatural techniques.